Allow me to recognize His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC, Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. I also recognize our Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, retired General Dr. C.D.G.N. Chiwenga, our Chairperson for the ruling party, who is also the Minister of Defense, Comrade Opa Chinguri Kashi. The honorable ministers here present, the chairpersons of this CHAC, allow me, Your Excellency, to write on the protocols already established. It is with unwavering resolve and a profound sense of duty that I stand before you today at this groundbreaking first International Climate and Health Africa Conference. Every generation faces a struggle that defines its contribution to the society we live in. And today, we face an unprecedented crisis for the African continent. Climate change is the world's greatest threat to humanity, threatening to reverse decades of progress in improving our people's health and prosperity. It poses a fundamental threat to human health through extreme weather events such as droughts and floods, spread of infectious diseases, food insecurity, and displacement of people, significantly impacting the functioning of the health systems. We are the guardians of Africa's future, charged with the critical mission of safeguarding the health, prosperity, and dignity of millions of our people who are already enduring the relentless and unforgiving consequences of climate change. Today, we are not here to merely represent our nations, but to seize the mantle of leadership in this struggle. Let us not mince words. Our mandate is urgent and our responsibility is paramount. The most recent Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, sixth assessment report reiterates that effective climate action depends on robust national, regional, and continental institutions. These institutions must have the capacity to build consensus, coordinate strategies, and set informed policy goals that are supported by the private sector and civil society, including youth, women, and indigenous people. The report highlights that human health will benefit from integrated measures to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to adapt to the most pressing health impacts. These include strengthening public health programs, increasing the resilience of healthcare systems, improving access to clean potable water, developing vaccines, and implementing heat health action plans, to name but a few. These scientific guidance must continue to shape our national health adaptation plans and policy deliberations across the continent. Zimbabwe is deeply committed to the Paris Agreement, having reaffirmed our dedication at the 21st Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP21, held in Paris in 2015. Through this historic accord, Zimbabwe pledged to contribute to the global efforts in reducing emissions and enhancing climate resilience. This commitment, which extends to our fellow African countries, signifies that we will not only mitigate climate impacts, but also ensure the protection of public health in our nationally determined contributions. We call on other nations to support these commitments. The importance of nationally determined contributions cannot be overstated. They map out each nation's unique path towards reducing emissions, and for Zimbabwe, they ensure that health as a vital component is firmly integrated into our climate mitigation strategies. Nationally determined contributions are more than policy tools. They are the cornerstone of our paths towards sustainable development. They ensure that health is central to our climate action, embedding resilience into the heart of our healthcare systems. Our vision is clear: to make health the backbone of our climate resilience framework, aligning with our Vision 2030 and our commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. At COP26, held in Glasgow in 2021, the world took significant steps towards addressing the impact of climate change on public health. Zimbabwe committed to the Glasgow Climate Pact, which places a strong emphasis on health-related actions. These include transitioning towards sustainable, low-emission healthcare systems and ensuring that health systems are resilient in the face of climate shocks. The commitments made at COP26 will continue to inform our national strategies, and it is crucial that we as African leaders ensure these promises are realized through concrete actions. At COP28, held in 2023, Zimbabwe again took a leadership role in the global climate health dialogue, signing key declarations that reaffirmed our commitment to building resilient health systems. These actions were part of a broader global effort to ensure that health systems are not only sustainable, but capable of withstanding the rising challenges posed by climate change. Zimbabwe also joined the WHO Alliance for Transformative Action on Climate and Health, ATACH, and this was done in 2024. A global platform that brings together countries committed to integrating climate resilience into their health systems. This alliance will further bolster our ability to implement the ambitious climate and health goals. We have already seen in the face of public health crises such as the HIV pandemic, how we can leverage international cooperation and scientific understanding to overcome even the greatest challenges. Today, millions of people in our country have access to life-saving antiretrovirals and world-class healthcare, which would not have been possible without African leadership supported by international financing mechanisms. The climate change crisis is no different, and we are already taking steps towards achieving this goal. We are drawing from the evidence gathered from our Mount Darwin's climate and health demonstration labs implemented by SESHA and other partners in the collaboration with the Department of Health, with funding by the Wellcome Trust, the EU, and NIA. The labs focus on understanding heat impacts through the heat center monitoring the burden of disease through the High Horizons project, and responding with heat adaptation for pregnant women through the HAPI project. This research will mean that we can calculate how many people are affected by climate change through specific indicators and allocate resources towards effective interventions for vulnerable populations. We are also learning how integrated heat adaptation, mitigation interventions at health facilities will contribute to more climate resilient health systems while reducing our carbon emissions. These initiatives, along with community Chuck satellite event scheduled for 1st November 2024 in Mount Darwin, are critical to advancing our understanding of the climate change impacts on health and will provide valuable insights for our national strategy. We are laying the groundwork for an operational framework for climate health deliberations, which will facilitate the core design of climate and health strategies across sectors. This framework will serve as a focal point for policy development, ensuring that Zimbabwe's health care sector remains resilient in the face of climate change. The planned National Health Adaptation Plan will be key to implementing climate resilience across sectors and will provide a guiding document that strengthens our alignment with both Vision 2030 and our SDG commitments. As we move forward, the WHO CHAC high-level ministerial meeting, which will be convened here, with the full participation of ministers present, will play a pivotal role in galvanizing our collective efforts. However, we must always be mindful that we cannot achieve alone what we can achieve together. Africa faces the most devastating consequences of climate change, despite contributing the least to the global emissions of greenhouse gases and being the least able to respond to these impacts. We call on the international community to support our efforts. It is my honor to host this distinguished gathering here in Zimbabwe, and I am confident that the outcomes of this meeting will feed directly into the Africa Health and Climate Declaration. This declaration, driven by the proceedings here at CHAC, will contribute to position Africa as global leaders as we head towards COP29 and beyond. As we conclude this historic event, my aim is clear: that we leave this conference with a unified purpose, ready to act upon the commitments we have made to overcome this generational struggle. The insights and agreements we forge here will resonate not only in Zimbabwe, but across Africa, influencing global climate health policies and ensuring that Africa's voice remains resolute on the world stage. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Your Excellency, allow me to just say the WHO Constitution states that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence